traverse a trail strewn with pieces and particles, cracked treasures yielded from the earth, stone, clay, twig, bone, glass, rusted relics worn and renewed, receptacles of ancient knowledge emblazoned with possibilities. Stories await revelation by a deft hand and eagle eye, to weave the tale, reassemble the fragments, frame the puzzle.
I want them to surface they're forgotten in history, and they have a part to play here in this whole Barbadian society, and nobody even mentions of them.
Dreams spun and caught in the web of time, lost in wonderment. The spirit speaks to the heart that hears, to the mind that sees, beyond time, beyond constraints of recorded history, discriminating in its choices, prejudicial in its telling. Where is my tale? Forgotten, between the stained pages blowing in the wind, between the leaved trees, unbending witnesses, the rocks, the stones, the sands that hold minute imprints of hands, of feet, of wounded knees, swept into seas, carried across oceans, broken remnants drifting into scant oblivion, blood running thin into streams of darkness, absorbed, diluted, decimated, bare traces left on the constructive faces, unknowing and unknown. Where is my tale? Buried in grounds, in rivers, in seeds, in the airs of shells, in the belly of whales, on the backs of turtles, in the flight of the spirit bird, swirling in feathered memory, lost in fairless time, lost in mortality. Find me now. Tell my story.
What started wrong will never end right until you clear up things, until you have everybody in the rightful picture where they should be, and everybody is integrated into that whole process and also in history. I was thinking, how can they be forgotten? If I come across them everywhere and I find things that lead me right to them all the time. So I was saying, okay, I integrate all that because it's time we're dealing with. That's the most important thing, to bring it back to life.
A little known aspect of our Barbadian history has throughout the years been curiously overlooked and understated. In 1701, James Moore, a Carolina governor and slave dealer, returned to South Carolina with more than 6,000 captives for the slave markets in the Caribbean. Thousands were said to have been imported into the island of Barbados alone. Yet there is barely any mention of the trade in Native American Indians and their enslavement in the colonies in our popular history books, and it is uncommon knowledge among the general populace of the nation. What then has become of the descendants of these red-skinned people? The opportunity arises to make known the unfortunate evil origins of the much-touted Barbados-Carolinas connection via and within the context of the artist Guni Johnson's creative pilgrimage into the medium of mosaic. Through this specialized art form, placing found objects from the natural environment together like pieces of a jigsaw puzzle, fragmented segments of a historical tale are reassembled. The works take on a life of their own as the trinity of the warrior Metacom, his wife Nanuski, and their son are inadvertently brought to life over a period of time, channeled perhaps by the compelling forces of ancestral spirits seeking reunification.
You hear the Indians talk for themselves, you know, the Native Americans, and Tall Oak was saying that they had gifts given to them by the Creator, but there came a responsibility with the gifts, that is to share them. And I said that really makes sense, because how I felt in the whole time while I was making these three pieces, how my hand was led, how effortless it came to me.
The compellingly atavistic nature of the work signify a call for investigation, restoration, and reconnection. Certainly, curiosity must be aroused as to if the blood of the great warrior Metacom, King Philip, runs in one's veins. or likewise the blood of countless other faceless, nameless warriors, women and children who were unwillingly transported to these shores. The artist would like to urge the relevant authorities to make available DNA testing to the curious and those suspecting themselves to be of American Indian, Amerindian extract and seek to make reconnection. The artist also feels strongly the need to restore the honor of the memory of Wo'otanacanuska and her son, whose name remains unknown, by returning them to their homeland and symbolically reuniting her with her husband, the warrior Metcomet, and their great nation people, the Wampanoag.